What's up, everybody? Destroyer here. Welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.2 version 6. Today we have a 1v1 on Fords of Isen II. I forget to turn my shaders off. Nice. Oh well. We have Muadd as the first player in the top left here, as Dwarves, and his opponent for this matchup is tehboohb as Goblins in the bottom right. So we got Goblin versus Dwarf. And apparently Muadd is off host, so tehboohb is the host of this match, if that makes any difference, which it does in this game, sadly, because of the host advantage. You get a little less delay, of course, but that's to be expected. Anyway, we'll see what's going on here. We got a Goblin Cave, of course. This is a starting thing. Muadd is going for Hall of Warriors. It looks like tehboohb is scouting with his cave bats, and he's going to follow Muadd's Dwarven Builder to the end of the earth. That way you can see where that forward mine is. It's actually a pretty good idea to use that cave bat that way, because you can just keep following that Dwarven Builder around. You won't be surprised by them sending a mine somewhere where you're not expecting it. And now tehboohb knows exactly where the Dwarven Builder will be. Let's see, now he has an idea of where he's going to be. He's probably going to go over here. A typical place to go for a majority of players. And he's actually turning around. Maybe he's luring tehboohb into thinking that's where he went, and then going to place his mine somewhere else, which is pretty cheeky and pretty smart. And if you're wondering why the map looks so foggy, it's because I have my shader on max, and unfortunately it brings out this nasty fog. It's not ideal. I normally turn it off for cast, but I forgot, and I can't be bothered to go turn it back on. Off. So whatever, because it only affects certain maps. Unfortunately, it's this one, the most played map of all. Muadd's Builder getting a punch to the face there a couple times, but he's going to creep the cave troll here, so now he can of course take the trolls home and burn it to the ground. He can also of course start getting hobbits out of there, which is really good. tehboohb still looking around for that forward mine. It's not finding it. Clearly that ruse worked. So that was definitely worth it and well played by Muadd there. Where did he end up going anyway? Out of curiosity. There's a Dwarven Builder there. Maybe he didn't put a mine down. That is highly possible. There's some Guardians in the mine shaft there. Let's continue to get Guardians and pump them out. tehboohb sending out hordes of goblins to try and figure out what the enemy is up to here. We'll find out soon enough. There you go. A bunch of money for Muadd. Very nice. And of course, he's ahead on the power point front now because he's grouped a troll there, which gives him about 1.5 power points, which is quite nice. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that'll definitely add up, you know. If you creep a lot of these layers, you'll have a lot more power points than your opponents. Not a lot, but you'll have more power points than your opponent. You'll probably get to your 10 a lot quicker, or you can get a second 5 power points, which is really useful. Not as Dwarves particularly, because you have heal and rebuild, unless you get a hero, which probably isn't going to happen against the Goblins, I have to admit. Brand isn't particularly great against Goblins, because he could just get swarmed and killed. He can't kill enough Goblins to really justify him being a thing over a few battalions of Dwarves, which would hold their own much better. But of course, if you can get a hero up with leadership like Dane at some point, it might be good. But there you go. tehboohb melting away that Guardian battalion. He has Goblin Archers and Goblin Warriors for days. And now I think Muadd is in a bit of trouble already. Although Muadd going for an attack himself. He's sending hobbits and 3 battalions of Guardians at the base of tehboohb, while he's currently being besieged. And that should do pretty good damage. Of course, he probably still has his rally call. He does indeed. tehboohb does have his cave bats though, which will nearby enemies suffer minus 25% 25% armor. I'm not sure if that's accurate. I'm pretty sure that's the that's what it is in the next patch in the beta right now. I have beta tooltips right now, so my tooltips are a bit off. But generally speaking, most of them are the same. So if you see some inconsistencies between some of the tooltips, that is why. But you also get a sneak peek at some of the new tooltips, I guess. if you wanted that, which I don't know if you do, because it's confusing. I'd say only if I was actually doing a beta cast or something, which there isn't any of those currently. Replays of beta games, that is. Alright, looks like Muadd losing another mineshaft. He's immediately throwing up another one, though. And the hobbits are doing work with their silver thrown rocks, which is quite effective. He's also got an archer range, and he's put all his warriors in the back there since he lost his forward one. So I'd definitely say tehboob's doing pretty good, but I'd still say Muadd still has pretty good map control, because he has a lot of mine shafts around the map. But so does tehboob, I guess. But the north is held by Muadd currently, and they are contesting the south. So I think, let's see who has more farms currently. Muadd actually does. He's 550 in command points. The Goblins have 400. So tehboob needs to pick up his tunnel game. Get more tunnels on the map. Of course, a lot of them are sneakily placed like that one. All he needs to do is get Muadd to get rid of it, and then he can start building his own out and about. He's running off 3 caves now, tehboob is. And this will rebuild into a cave, I think, as well. Is that a goblin cave? Yeah. I think you can tell by that little claw, as that's that part. And Muadd's pushing in the south here with some hobbits and guardians as well. Probably don't want to go up against the warg, though. I think the wargs would rip a new one into those good hobbits. So it probably needs some Felixes if he wants to effectively fight those. He can still kill them without too much trouble, but he'll take a lot more damage than he'd like, I would have no doubt. Now we have Azog of Moria out and about for tehboob. So that'll definitely be helpful. Heroes against the dwarves are always helpful, because they can kill their tanky, hard to kill units pretty easily. And of course, Azog has very good powers. Brigand is level 2, which is Scavenger essentially. It does not stack with Scavenger, as some people mistakenly think. If getting Scavenger and having Azog gives you twice as much resources, it does not. I'm fairly certain, because that would be horribly OP, as you might expect. And you might think, well, that makes his Brigandage kind of useless if you got Scavenger. Yes, yes it does. But the point of getting Brigandage is to get it when you don't have Scavenger. That means he doesn't have to go for Scavenger. If he keeps him around, he's able to get 2 5s. When we go for Summon Wildman of Dunland or something, he doesn't have to do that. And of course, Brigandage doesn't... It's like only works on Azog. Scavenger works if you have an ally in Goblin. It'll share between your ally as well. So that's also a nice use for that. There's definitely many uses for both. And Azog's just a pretty solid hero in general anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So he's getting 3 per Hobbit kill. Definitely worth more than a Hobbit life, I would suggest. Nah, I'm just kidding. Hobbit lives matter, of course. All lives matter. Do they, though? Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, we have the Hobbit summon there, which you'll have to fend off. There's also axe throwers and such there. Lots of goblins fending off whatever is over here from Muadd. Looks like he has some level 2 guardians with their freaking really intense stare. That stare on that portrait is so intense. But it's good. It's what we all know and love. And I'm glad it's that way, I guess. As long as it's doing nicely though there. He's already up to level 4. He's got great battle rage, which gives him 100% damage, 40% armor. I'm hoping that's still correct. Oh wow. He actually gets money for killing the Hobbit heroes summoned? I wasn't aware of that. I thought you didn't get any money for killing the summons. Well, that's interesting. I guess you don't get any power points for killing the summons. I guess you still get money. So that's good to know. I wasn't actually aware of that. And Muadd is holding the middle forward here. Preparing for another attack soon. He'll be sending out his Axthors and his hobbits there. Which I still think look like the guy from Game of Thrones. When they're in the mine shaft. Their icon. Ramsay Bolton. That one. You can't tell me that doesn't look like Ramsay Bolton. It does. It does. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I can't unsee it, at least. Tehboohb getting rid of some of the mine shafts in the south here. It's a good call. Definitely a good call. I mean, he has enough goblins. He could send guys north and south and start getting rid of mine shafts, but he's not doing that. Of course, that does mean he has to micro a lot of stuff, which is fair enough. But it would help him clear out some of the mines. I don't think Muadd would be able to defend that many mine shafts at once with the dwarves. Battle Wagon would do Muadd pretty nicely right about now. Especially while there's no spider pit for the goblins. But is he going for this? No, he is not. He's opting for Men of Dale and Guardians still. And probably Hobbits, I would imagine. He lost his inn, so not quite yet. He can start getting Hobbits again if he so desires. And the Hobbits are continuing to attack the base there. Looks like they do manage to pull out. Killing off a tunnel there. Might get another tunnel here as well. Probably not, though. The Axthors are the only ones doing damage, and they're going to die off. I think well before that goes down, maybe? Oh, yeah, definitely. Now that the amount of Goblin Archers are kicking ass and taking names. He's got a lot of Goblin Archers. I really think a Battle Wagon would be huge. Or just have more Men of Dale than the opponent has Goblin Archers. Could work too, I suppose. So we'll see. If he has a stronger standing army, he can overpower the goblins, of course, with ease. But will he is the question. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Of course, Tehboohb using lumber mills, as you should. If you're an evil faction, always utilize your lumber mills. They are an incredible boost to your economy. If you're not using your lumber mills, you're probably doing something wrong. But this is a look you can... Okay, it still says they're command point 1, so it's not completely out of whack. Because in the beta they are 4, I believe, for a labor, which is to try and help cull the, of course, lumber mill spam that is rampant in this version of the patch. Will it be enough? I'm not sure. It'll still help, though, at least. You'll definitely have to think a little bit more about it. You'll have a lot smaller army. Not a lot, really. Unless you're one of those people that spams like 60 laborers. Then maybe you will have a smaller army. By far. Looks like Muadd is losing the center ground here. He did throw up an undermine, but fortunately for him, did not quite seal the deal. Azog is his goblins. Azog's running animation is so tacky, isn't it? Am I the only one who thinks he runs like a fucking weirdo? Probably not. A lot of the Rise of the Witch King heroes, well, not a lot of them, mainly just Rogash and Azog, run really strangely. It's like their animations weren't done quite as well as the originally were. But, yeah. We still love them anyway, I suppose. There's Golem. He's on the field as well. Doubt he'll be utilized. Tehboohb has a Mountain Giant. How interesting. 2 Mountain Giants, in fact. This could get dicey for Muadd if he's not careful. The Mountain Giants could seal the deal for the Dwarves. And of course, as we see, there's a level 3 fissure. We do have the Fire Drake Broods coming out. The little mini hero hordes, which you can get 3 of course. It's the Goblins, which is really, really nice. It's 3, right? Yes. The number of mini hero hordes does differ between different factions. I think dwarves can get 3 zealots, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Black Riders, of course, you can only have 1 because there's only so many Nazgul. But they're one very strong battalion. Dol Amroth Knights, Knights of Dol Amroth, you can have 3, I believe. And Noldor Warriors, you can have 2. Because elves are not really in need of having 3, are they? Let's be honest. So it does differ between different factions. And Deathbringers, I think you get 3 as well. Angmar, of course, has Sorcerers, which is not exactly a mini hero horde unit, but there's no limit on those, at least. And the fortress is starting to be bursted down. Does Muadd ever build? That's the question we all wonder. He does indeed. Oh, not a good day to be a hobbit. Jesus. That's how you deal with a hobbit summon, ladies and gentlemen. You should really do that with this one as well. And there goes the rebuild. I don't think the giants are going to be able to burst the fort down in time. Especially now that a bunch of Men of Dale have showed up and stuff. I think Muadd will have plenty, but his fort has taken damage. Luckily for him, the Dwarven fortress is a tanky one. And of course, if he gets the armor upgrade on his fort, he'll have even more. Assuming he didn't, of course. I can't really... It's damaged to all hell, I can't really tell. I don't think he does, though. It doesn't look orange enough. Or gold, or whatever it is. There's the worm summon from tehboohb. Dying fairly rapidly. Lots of Men of Dale and hobbits and pikemen trying to bring it down. Indeed, they do bring it down fairly quickly without getting too much damage in return. It's not the best worm summon I've ever seen. Just goes to show, don't summon it right in the middle of an army that can kill it all pretty quickly, because that would not get you very far. tehboohb's got Gorkill the Goblin King on the field now. He's got another giant. He's got another fisher. He's getting half-troll swordsman, which is a nice addition to his army. Does he still have the fire drake broods? He does indeed. One's level 2, and the other one is level 2 as well. Does have to be careful with Men of Dale, though. Men of Dale, just archers in general, are pretty good against these little fire drake broods. Well, maybe not as good as I thought, but if he stands there long enough, they will die. But as you see there, they are absolutely wrecking house. Of course, if they live, they can just go away and heal up. Oh no, he's not paying attention! Ah, tehboohb, you can't just... Oh, kill me. Unfortunately, he's microing things elsewhere, it seems. Although I think these should probably take priority. They're quite expensive. And he does manage to get one of them out of there. So at least that'll start respawning its battalion, and he'll have to get a new one. Those are 1,500 apiece, so that's why I'm saying you should probably be careful. Interesting. We have a Shelob. These are incorrect, by the way. This is the levels for next patch. I believe Tunnel is level 7, and Sting is level 5 in the current version. But that's what it'll be changed to. The Tunnel's actually pretty useful now. That was very poor use of Shelob. She does not trample pikemen well. I don't know if tehboohb was aware of that or not. She's been playing this game for a while. I'd hope he would know. But yeah, he's basically through Shelob boy. But anyway, her tunnel. In this current version, she tunnels. She comes up under an enemy. It doesn't do damage. It doesn't like send them flying. But now it does in the new version, which I really like. That's a really cool change. Shelob has been buffed pretty nicely. I think she costs more as well, but she's worth the cost now, I think. So that's good. It's good to see Shelob being buffed. But of course in this current version. She's still pretty good in the current patch. I used her pretty effectively against King Thranduil the other day. So that was fun. It's just gotta keep her alive and keep her away from pikemen. She's very poor against pikemen. But she can walk over guardians pretty easily and stuff, which is nice. Which is probably what tehboohb was trying to do, but unfortunately there was just too many of the old phalanxes in there. And there's the Undermine with Muadd's army being brought about rather. Hopefully he does have giant support and fire drakes and such. She should clear this up fairly easily, I think. Fire Drake Brood very low. He's trying to save its life. The Giants and the Heroes going to deal with the majority of Muadd's army pretty easily, I think. Mountain Giants aren't actually that bad against units. They're not the best either, but, you know, as you see there, they're getting kills every time they throw rocks. So, you know, doesn't mean they're doing something. Muadd is doing damage, it's gotta be said. And he still has a fair amount of battalions of Menadale over here. And there's the barrage. Did not kill the Giants, did not kill the fissure. I think it just took a tunnel, if I'm not mistaken. This actually didn't get much done with that one. Wait, is that a dead giant? Oh, it actually did kill a giant as it came out, apparently. So he got one giant there, which is 1,000 resources. They're not cheap, so it's not bad. We got a Fire Drake's nest. Dragon's Nest, rather, as it's called. And he's getting a Fire Drake, the actual Fire Drake, from the fortress. That could be very effective as well. I feel like tehboohb is letting Muadd get way too much map control, though. He has the north, he has the south, he has the middle. Muadd has basically complete map control, even though the Goblins are not doing badly. He just needs to start sending out attacks against the mineshafts, and he's not doing it. That's the problem. He's so focused on defensing? Playing defense. Is defensing a thing? Probably not. And such that he doesn't really have time to go for map control. But there is a Balrog summon. Quite effective one at that. I absolutely obliterated his army. And now he's going to try and get it to the base of Muadd. Of course, the best way to do that is to take flight and use the wings of the Balrog. A creature that does not look like it should physically be able to fly. With those wings, especially. Especially with the amount of holes in them. But he will make his way to the Dwarven base and then starts ravaging it a bit. It's definitely what you want to do with the Balrog. Try and kill an army with its initial summon, and then get it to the enemy base and start destroying their production. That is the key to using a good Balrog. Don't just sit it on the fort like a nub. That'll get you nowhere. Balrog does very little damage to the fortress, as opposed to where he could just destroy an entire base, basically. Without it. Looks like Muadd does indeed have the armor upgrade on the fortress. Even more reason not to attack it with the Balrog. But I'd say that was a pretty successful Balrog. You get 2 production buildings, a mineshaft, and a Dwarven army with that one. And that definitely shows he's in the lead with the power points, as Goblins tend to be. Goblins gain power points very quickly, because they're just always in combat. Well, not always in combat, of course, but it's very easy to be in combat at all times, and that's how you gain power points. By attacking things. And Muadd's fortress is being burst down a bit. I don't think these couple giants will get the job done. Especially since Muadd probably has rebuild ready to go. He does indeed. Wouldn't it be awkward though if he wasn't paying attention? And there is the rebuild. And he should easily be able to clean this up. Although there is a Wildman summon on the archer line there. But I think the phalanxes that are left might be enough. Maybe not. There's still some Men of Dale and some hobbits there, though. But it looks like he has saved the giant, and the giant will continue to whittle down the fort. While Muadd trying to take out some more of the base. Fortunately for his attack, the Fire Drake is still there. And the real Fire Drake is a nasty bugger. Up to level 5 as well, which actually gives him the Inferno ability. Which of course can set fire to a selected area, which is quite nice. Pretty sure it's not nearly as strong as it used to be. In this patch, it doesn't just make a gigantic fireball that kills everything in its wake. I don't think the fire actually lasts that long, if I'm not mistaken. But I have seen it used very few times, to be honest, so... It might have been just the map I saw it used on, didn't have flammability, who knows. Didn't seem particularly as good as it used to be. Which is fair enough, because it used to be incredibly overpowered. You'd send a Fire Drake out, burn like this amount of radius of a player's base, It was ridiculous. I'm talking about Beef Me Too, of course. Probably applies to Rise of the Witch King 2.01 as well, but I didn't play that much, so it's hard to say. But it looks like tehboohb is finally doing what he should have done ages ago and start attacking the mines in the north. But while he's doing that, he should attack the base in the south as well. It's not like he doesn't have the troops to do it, you know? What the hell? They look like they're straight out of World Builder. What the fuck's going on there? Let's just ignore that promptly. It's a little strange, but you know, I've seen worse. I've seen Eowyn stretched and warped, so nothing is weird to me anymore. Half-troll swords, though, very strong. Not very good against the Hobbit rocks, though, unfortunately. But if they were up against phalanxes, they'd be carving their way through like butter. Prince Bran is there, King Bran rather, as well. I'm gonna keep calling him Prince Bran, like, till the Age of Time. It's just, something I'm used to. King Bran is more appropriate, of course, though. And I like it better, but he'll always be a prince. He'll never grow up. We have armor upgrades. Interesting for a Goblin player to go for armor upgrades instead of Forged Blades upgrades. I mean, Forged Blade upgrades, you could actually equip your Goblin Warriors and just kill stuff pretty quickly. Although the armor upgrade will help the Half-Troll Marauders and Half-Troll Swordsmen as well. Oddly enough, though, that's really the only two units you would equip the armor on. Unless you're just really ridiculously filthy rich and just give it to Goblin Warriors because you can. Not because you should. Even with armor, Goblin Warriors are still fucking trash. They're still dying very easily. It's not worth equipping for 250 resources. I'm sure we all can agree on that one. But yeah, tehboohb really needs to make a push. Muadd is making a comeback because he's being a bit too passive, I feel. I feel like tehboohb could win if he just made a strong push against the Dwarves on multiple fronts. And here would be a perfect place to use Inferno. But he didn't. Okay. I mean, he was already there. He might have well used it, but I guess it might have got him killed. So maybe he made the right decision. Still, an Inferno would have taken out that army, I think. Although they were standing on water. Does it still work? I actually don't know. Probably does, but I don't think it would set fire to the ground. But maybe that's what does the damage, so I don't know. There's an undermine somewheres. Over here, it looks like. Undoubtedly cast under the Goblin army to try and knock it about. With the help of the Fire Drake Horde, he's doing quite nicely though. Fire Drake broods. And his half-troll marauders with armor. Their fancy golden armor. For some reason, golden, but from a gameplay mechanics standpoint, it makes sense to give them golden armor to really show they have an upgrade. But from a like lore aesthetical presentation point of view, it's ridiculous to give goblins golden armor. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. We're all used to the golden armor by now. But still, if you think about it, it's a little weird. It's just very, very regal goblins, you know? They like to live lavishly. This Azog's level 10. Unfortunately, he doesn't get any powers past level 6, but of course he does get more stats and stuff as he goes. It's always good to get your heroes to level 10, even if they don't get any powers past level whatever, 5 or whatever, 6. Like Eowyn or what have you. Because they still get stat increases and attack damage and what have you. It's always worth leveling up. And now tehboohb is doing not a whole lot. He's not producing from any of his production buildings, which is not the best. He's not command point capped by any means. He's not broke by any means. Perhaps he's saving for Drogoth. That is a possibility. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. In fact, I'm going to leave it on his camera to see if he gets Drogoth. If he doesn't, he's just cash floating hard for no reason. Maybe he's too focused on his attack. It's hard to say. Not everyone's a master of the micro and macro, of course. tehboohb is pretty good, though. Yeah, he's keeping up with Muadd pretty well. Muadd is a very good player. I don't think Drogoth would be particularly good, though, because of the amount of Men of Dale and Brand on the field as well. I actually think he'd be pretty bad. Doesn't look like he's actually going for Drogoth. So what is he doing with all this money? I haven't a clue. If he gets the ring, I guess he could get Sauron. I'm kind of generally confused as to what tehboohb is actually doing with his stuff. Okay, now he's queuing up more stuff. That's good. I guess he's just very focused on his attack. Unfortunately, that is a production suffered because of it. I think that's what's allowing your mod to actually catch up here and keep pushing back against him. And he rode Drogoth right into some pikes. Men of Dale. That was unfortunate. So that's going to cost him a bit. If he could get a level 10 Drogoth, that'd be pretty huge. But there is a bit of a problem when, like, if you're too focused on what you're doing, you're not building troops. If you're able to master both building troops and microing your troops around, then you truly can be really good at RTS. And a good way to do that, of course, is to number your production buildings. Like Control 1, Control 2. Something I should really do myself, but I don't because I'm a lazy bastard. I can't be bothered. But if you want to be good at a game, that's a good suggestion to do. Unfortunately, this game you can't select, like, say, 2 fissures at the same time and group them both at number 1 and then start building out of both at the same time. You'd have to label them specifically Group 1, Group 2, because this game just doesn't support that, unlike some other RTSs that do, which is a very neat feature I wish the game had. Because I totally group, like, all my Goblin Ks Group 3 and then just press 3, spam W, which is the hotkey for Goblin Warrior, in case you were curious. And then you just queue up a ton of goblins. That'd be a great way to do it, but unfortunately BFME doesn't support that. I'd have to label them all separately, Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, which you can still do fairly nicely. And there you go. There is the radius of the Fire Inferno. It's actually pretty good, although he's done more damage to his own army, I think. So it was definitely just the map I saw I used on, I guess. Didn't have flammability on the ground. Because I thought it... When I saw it used once, it didn't leave fire on the ground. But that's just because the map, whoever made the map I was playing, didn't put flammability on the ground. But yeah, like I was saying, good tip if you want to be good at RTS. Group your production buildings. So you can press 5. You can still fight over here, or whatever, micro your stuff around, press 5. Do the hotkey for whatever, Goblin Warriors, whatever the fuck you're building. Queue them over to where you want to go. And then just keep playing with your army. It can be tricky, though. Okay. Looks like Muadd is regaining map control. He's actually got a tower over here now. Is this a lone tower or a battle tower he actually built? Oh, he actually built a tower. Nice. Good players using towers. Look at this. I like it. A tower in a very key location is actually a very good thing to have. I guess will hold the goblins back from the north part pretty nicely. Hell, he could even go bold and put it here if he wanted to. But it will definitely help cull the attacks on the north. Now see if tehboohb throws Shelob away right away this time. He did it again. Okay, he didn't die this time at least, not yet. And he's already got Balrog back. Whoa, there it is. It's a giant fire demon. Well, tehboohb's got upgrades on his Goblin Warriors. armor and everything. Savage. He's also got upgraded half-troll swordsman, which is really good. Fire drakes, giants. I think Muadd might be in trouble here. I think whatever Muadd has is over here, and it's not much. He's also got a little bit over there. But he'll never be able to take out the dwarven or the goblin base with that. And we have a dragon as well to add insult to injury. All right, Muadd is definitely in a bad way. He's gonna use the dragon to take out all of Muadd's mine shafts. Oh, there's a beautiful stomp killing so many hobbits. It's a thing of beauty. Of course, the half-troll marauders. Their specialist damage type, which is good against heroes. Easily able to pick off that. In case you didn't know, pikemen are actually one of the best unit to fight heroes because of the specialist damage type they do. It's good against heroes. So there you go. The more you know. Yeah, this looks like GG. Muadd is. There's no way Muadd can go back from this. It would be an absolute miracle. I think the goblins here alone will be more than enough to take out the fort. The lone tower is not going to be enough. Of course, there's a giant there as well. I'm not sure if the dragon was killing his own units, but it might have been. But the giant is going to be left unopposed, and then comes a wildman summon as well. They should be able to finish it off here. And is that it? No. It's damn close. Muadd might have another building somewhere else. He does, actually. He's rebuilding in the north here. Well, we'll see if Muadd can make a comeback. I highly doubt it, especially without the use of powers. But you never know. Tehboob's sitting on 6 grand, and Muadd sitting on 343 resources. I don't like his odds. And of course, the more goblins kill, the more money they get. And there you go. Tehboob has been defeated. What? Tehboob quit out. Okay. Well, I'm still gonna say that Tehboob won that match, because obviously he would have won that match easily. So, yeah. But unofficially, or officially, I guess, Muadd's the winner, since Tehboob quit out. Whatever. Anyway, that was a pretty good match. I do feel like Tehboob made a lot of mistakes that probably could have helped a little less. A little more. I don't know. He still won regardless, so I guess it doesn't matter, but yeah, Muadd fought pretty hard. Goblins against Dwarves is a pretty hard matchup. I do think earlier Battle Wagon might have been really good. That would have forced him to go Spiderlings, though, which can be tricky to deal with as Goblins, or Dwarves, rather. But anyway, I'm no pro, so who knows. Anyway, there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed that cast, and I'll see you guys in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King Patch 2.2 version 6. See you all next time.